want to go over the 2003 Club Car DS 48 volt. This is the rear lift kit while the wheels are off. Just replace the brake pads. Looks good, everything's spinning. If you really want to be super awesome, you can make sure that you have your differential fluid. I believe it's just 80-90. Make sure we're topped off. If you put it in through the front, I believe for the Cub car, you have a vent that's right up here. It wasn't really wet, but that could also mean that it's almost out too. But I didn't check. I don't hear any grinding except what's on the drum. Everything spins like it's supposed to. All right, when you first get your stock Club car, your HD leaf spring, well, your leaf spring, this one's not a heavy duty one. This leaf spring will actually be underneath the bottom of the rear axle. When you do your rear lift kit, what I found was easier is unhook the bushings up here. I have new bushings coming in, so I'm gonna be replacing these. These are pretty much shot and toast. Remove this upper bushing, this bolt right here for the bushing for your leaf spring, and then it'll lay down. Then you'll unloosen the bolt on your rear axle, Kaylin, and then you'll take your rear axle. And you'll slide it out to where it's underneath. Then you'll put your lift block on. This is original stock piece. This piece is actually on top, and it holds the original shock absorber. This is obviously a new one. Golf carts, especially, are driven on a golf course like they're stolen. So they're all beat to hell. But so you're going to need, whenever I do a lift and the cart is over 5 years old, I'll go ahead and just replace it. They're only like $70 or $75 off eBay, so it's not that expensive for front and rear shock absorbers. I'm gonna do another video showing what the front looks like. But for the rear, as you can see, for the 2003 Club car, you want to take this clip out and take this pin out, and then you can undo your brake cable. All right, there's no need to take anything else on the axle off. All right, this piece right here is what holds the stock shock absorber, so it'll be up on top. Your leaf spring will be underneath your axle, supporting it in your original setup. When you add your 6-inch lift, this is just the eBay $200 special one. Then the instructions will tell you, and I'll show you pictures of it. We'll show you to put your leaf spring on top, then your mounting block. You'll have your original plate that holds your shock absorber. There's a little spacer with a 7/16 bolt right down there. Where my finger's at. That's a 7/16 bolt that goes in there. That just stops this whole setup from sliding out of place. All right. And then there's a nipple on top that stops this piece from sliding out of place. Make sure your bolts line up in the holes like they're supposed to, and you torque them equally because you want it as flush as possible. Here's your shock absorber, the way it mounts back in. Sometimes when you go to mount your shock absorber, this piece right here is going to spin. You can hold the cylinder here to put the bottom bolt in, but sometimes this will spin. I just took a pair of vice grips, mount them to the stainless steel part. You don't need to put them on super tight, but then it holds it in place so you can put your torque onto these bolts on the same. It is night and day when you get a 20-plus-year-old golf cart and you replace the shock absorbers in the back and the front. Daddy, it'll stop moving so much. Hold on, baby. Another thing you want to do is take a bungee cord, wrap it around this, and tie it to this hole right here. It'll stop your front axle while you're taking everything apart from sliding out of place. Even if you do one side of the next, start on one side first. Don't over torque these bolts because you still need to move. Remember, you have to bring this leaf spring from underneath the axle and mount it on top. I'll show you the directions. This is exactly what a stock setup will look like. Leaf spring will be on the bottom of the axle. There's your shock absorber. There's your bushing they want you to take out. I like taking the top one out, but you can also do that one for the directions. Let's see where we're at now. here's the setup when you're all said and done. This is the factory alarm bracket, like I was telling you about before. It was on top, it'll be lower to the bottom. You have your bolts, you have your lifting block. That is the disassembly of the original one. You'll take that. You will not use the U-bolt, that again, or those. Here's what the lift kit will look like when you put it all together. You're going to have that new piece at the top. Here's your factory lower bracket, which is what's going to hold everything in place. There's that 7/16 bolt that I was telling you about. Then you have that little spacer piece that mounts to your axle right here, and then here's your lift block. Then you have the top piece, which your shock absorber goes on, and your axle bolts will go through to hold it, retain it in place. Again, this is the rear setup, 6-inch lift, 2003 Club Car DS. Remember to maintain all your hardware when you put your pin and your factory cotter back in to your brake cable. And if you need to, you may have to take an adjustment. But once you get the drum in place, your drum is just going to it should loose and lock in.
Daddy.
While you do this every time,
Mama.
This is the time to check your brakes. I know sometimes some of you guys want to cut corners and hey, I know my brakes are good. I don't care what you think. Sometimes you still need to do your brake pads. While you have everything off, this is the time to do it. All right, if you want to be a super golf cart mechanic. If you have any other questions, let me know.